My name is Aaron Scott, and my pronouns are he, him. I'm the staff officer for gender justice for the presiding bishop's office of the Episcopal Church. I've also been working with the Cairo Center Network since 2007 when I was a student at Union Theological Seminary. I was born and raised in Mechanicville, New York. I live in Tacoma, Washington with my 8-year-old son, and I just wrote my first book. It comes out on Tuesday. It's called Bring Back Your People 10 Ways Regular Folks Can Put a Dent in White Christian Nationalism. Um, and I'm just grateful to be here with you all because this book only exists because of this network, and I feel very close to the theme that we heard in Isaiah 60 because to me it's about a movement that spans generations. We don't get to this place of abundance, of even understanding that the abundance of God exists and is for us without the work and the sacrifice and the loss of so many leaders, some of whom are in this room. Minister Savina, I see you. And there's so many other people who are the reason that Freedom Church exists at all. I wouldn't have known hardly any of the things in this book without the wisdom of this network. And so I understand this book is our book. And my hope is that we can put it to work for us in this specific moment of such intense crisis and confusion. My hope is that it's a reminder to all of us that we actually are the people who have the solutions for this time. And those solutions are political solutions. Those solutions are economic solutions. Those solutions are social solutions, and they're also spiritual solutions. This reading from Isaiah is not supposed to be vague. It's not a metaphor. It's really about people who have been at the bottom being the concrete source of liberation and transformation for this whole society, for this whole world. I think it's really closely tied with the theme of the Epiphany story. We have these three economists and astrologers who come into an empire that is not their own, and they're looking for a leader. And the fact that they're looking for a kind of leadership that doesn't yet exist puts Herod so on edge um, that state violence intensifies against the oppressed. But they find that leadership. They find it in a manger. They find it in a poor family, in a poor neighborhood, and it's so whatever they found there was so shocking and transformative to them that they defected. They did not go back to Herod the way they came. They did not snitch out the
Mm.
Holy Family. And I think that's important to us because what they found was not a policy proposal coming from the top. What they found was not um, some very slick and marketed promise about how things were going to be nicer or a little more gentle form of empire. What they found was actually just a messy, breathing, beautiful baby. And it can be very hard to take our own power seriously. It can be very hard to take our own leadership seriously because we don't have the level of organization maybe that we need right now. We don't have the reach that we need right now. We don't have a lot of things. We haven't moved as many hearts and minds as there are to be moved, but we have the power of God incarnate in our being, as poor and oppressed people. We have an expression of truth that cannot be shut up. And we have, I think, particularly too, looking around at a lot of really awesome LGBTQ plus leaders who have been in this movement for a long time who are here with us. I think it's important to see how that's also connected to our experience. There's something about the divine revelation of God inside of us that is terrifying, to an empire who wants to categorize people, very rigidly, to put us into boxes and then decide which of those boxes are disposable at any given time. And this is a really dangerous moment to be navigating. This is a moment where being truthful, being clear, and being unswayed by the real distortion surrounding us, propagandizing all of our communities is not easy to do, and it's not particularly safe to do. But it is powerful, and it is the way forward. And I think, when I think about the work that I talk about in this book, most of the time it's a lot about the work I did in rural Grays Harbor County at Chaplains on the Harbor. And so much of that work felt so small and so slow and so not enough. And yet, again and again, it was that work that came under the hammer of real intense repression and state violence and social and vigilante violence. And that's usually a sign that you are doing something threatening to the powers and principalities of this world. So I think as we keep moving through the service, hearing from Moses and his reflection on Isaiah 60, I just really want to encourage and thank everybody in this room for the giftedness that you bring, for the power that is inside of you, and for the ways you are vulnerable, because God is not going to come into this world and change it, in a way that is unhuman. We actually have the power that we need in our own very messy, very chaotic, beautiful human movements. And that can be tough. It can be tough to hang together through all of that. But we're really worth it. And I think if you can anchor down and think about the light coming into the world, the God being born into the world as this fat little baby, and being this center point of transformation. You are a part of that. You are in that lineage. So thank God for all of you.